Hello, welcome to Crypto News. Today is August 15th, 2025, and the top cryptocurrency news is as follows, and we will start our episode with our ETFs. We will go to the Bitcoin ETF, since on August 13th, BlackRock did not make any absolute moves. For this reason, the day closed with $86 million in inflows, while on August 14th, without knowing what BlackRock has done, we are already at negative $292 million, and the main reason is the fall of BTC. The reasons for which we will see at the end of the episode. Let's say that BTC, despite the fall it had, did not affect Ethereum much, which is still very strong at $4,600. Besides the price, which is very strong and shows us that we have entered a trend for the alt season, this is also reflected in the Ethereum ETF, where on August 13th we learned that BlackRock made a very large purchase of $500 million, resulting in the day closing at $729 million, recording the second largest inflow ever for Ethereum ETFs. On August 14th, with the fall of BTC, without knowing what BlackRock has done, we are at $119 million compared to BTC ETFs, which are close to negative $300 million. Now, the latest news on our ETFs is that the SEC is postponing its decision on the Solana ETFs for another 2 months. We are talking about 4 ETFs, and we will wait 2 months to see if they will be approved or not. Moving on to our exchange news, we go to BtcTurk, which was probably hacked for $49 million. The Turkish exchange froze activity just yesterday, which is a typical move that exchanges make when they are in a very difficult situation, as blockchain analysts have pointed out that almost $50 million has left the platform in suspicious transfers. The same exchange announced to X that it is conducting a detailed investigation to see exactly what happened and assured users that their funds are safe with them, as people cannot withdraw them. They will remain on the exchange because your money on the exchange is not yours. It belongs to the exchange, as we have seen many times on Crypto News. Moving on, let's move on to mining companies. And I have very interesting news for those interested in mining BTC. American Bitcoin, the company backed by members of the US president's family, has purchased more than 16,000 ASIC BTC miners worth $314 million to gradually start operating. Meanwhile, Jack Dorsey announced a new miner that could last more than 10 years. Specifically, Block, Jack Dorsey's company, has introduced a new cryptocurrency miner system designed to extend the life of the miner and reduce operating costs. So they introduced us to the so-called Proto rig, a modular system that replaces the traditional 3 to 5 year life cycle of a mining rig with hardware that is built to last a decade or more, as Block announced. Let's just say that as Crypto News understands, this particular machine, in addition to being built to last longer, is actually easier to repair. Typically, the way Bitcoin mining rigs are built, they are entire units that are hermetically sealed together, so if something breaks inside, they usually don't repair it. They throw it away as is. This particular rig, if you look at the back of it, has very large handles, so theoretically, if something breaks there, you can remove it with the handle and replace it. That way, they don't have to throw away the entire machine, thus increasing its life cycle. At this point, I will tell you that this is what Crypto News understands. I haven't bought such a machine to see if what I'm saying is true. Moving on to our favorite cryptocurrency market, we turn to Bitcoin, which is currently at $119,000. Let's say the price had just hit a new all-time high of $124,000 yesterday, and on the same day, it fell to $117,000. For those of you who are new to the cryptocurrency market, welcome. This happens quite often. It's nothing new. Initially, from this drop, we saw liquidations that reached $1 billion from various traders, as you can imagine. And now we're going to look at the reasons that affected the price of Bitcoin a little, and the reason that affected it a lot. First, we go to the US Treasury Secretary, who stated that they will not be buying Bitcoin. Specifically, in an interview, he stated that the government has no plans to make additional purchases of Bitcoin or to buy individual digital assets. What he said in his own words is that we have also started to enter the 21st century, a Bitcoin reserve. We are not going to buy this, but we are going to use seized assets and continue to accumulate it, as the minister stated. Let me say at this point that, as you know from Crypto News, this is contrary to the position that the President of the United States had previously announced. Essentially, the President had talked about a reserve that was for Bitcoin and another that included various cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, and Solana. Regarding the second reserve, what they told us was that indeed there would be no market. However, if they seize cryptocurrencies, they will hold them and sell them. For the statement regarding Bitcoin, apart from the seizures, they had told us that there would be markets as long as they are neutral. That is, they will find a way to buy Bitcoin without having to spend money. This could be by selling gold to buy Bitcoin or by issuing bonds and using the proceeds to buy Bitcoin. Basically, it has to be some kind of neutral way. So here the price of Bitcoin dropped a little bit, and I'll have the full interview with the minister below in the description. After that, they made a few phone calls, so he went to X and basically backed down. The US Treasury Secretary then clarified that his department is continuing to explore ways to buy Bitcoin in a budget-neutral way. Now let's get to the big talk. And the big talk is the US core PPI and PPI year over year, which is a measure of inflation. I'll explain briefly what it does in a bit. Let's say the core PPI was at 0%, they were expecting 0.3% and got 0.6%. They got it completely wrong, while the year over year PPI was at 2.3% and they got 3.3%. This means that inflation in the United States is still strong. Specifically, the PPI tracks the prices of goods and services as they leave a factory or production line before they reach the end consumer. So that's what the PPI measures, and the results haven't been good at all. So they're very worried that inflation is still strong, and maybe the Fed won't cut rates in 33 days. However, according to the CME group, we still have a 92% chance of seeing a rate cut despite the PPI numbers. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, is August 15th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.